There we go. That is chicken a la king made in one tray. That is simple. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today, chicken a la king in one tray. Nice and straightforward in one tray. Now I've got this little bit of a rack. I'm putting that in there for now. What we're doing, we're going to season the chicken, chuck it in the oven. We're going to cook it for about 20-25 minutes. Drain all the fats out, because to make a sauce in here, the chicken a la king sauce, we want to use some of that fat, but the amount of water that comes out the chicken and the fat, it would make the sauce too wet. I'm using chicken thighs, bone in, skin on. Use any cut of chicken that you want. I just prefer this sort of cut for this, and I appreciate some people can't get this, but not to worry. Just use anything. There you go. We want a little bit of seasoning on there. I want a little bit of salt and pepper. Now you can pat dry your chicken, you can do what you want. Is it necessary to pat it dry? Not when it's roasting. It definitely is if you're going to pan fry it. Well, not for this. It's just going to sit in the oven and dry out. So does it matter? No. Don't get flustered over it. Right, we're going to put a little bit of smoked paprika on there. Now you can just use normal paprika, but I've got this smoky. I'm going to use this. Right. Now, we don't want much, because this stuff tends to burn in the oven. So be very careful. Just want a little bit of flavouring on there. Now, if you don't have smoked paprika, you know, you can really cheat on all this sort of stuff, you know. Just get Old Bay seasoning and chuck that on. That's salty enough and full of different flavours. It's okay. And I will just put a tiny tad of olive oil on this chicken skin. Not much, but we don't want this to burn, do we? And all we do is whack that in the oven for about 25 minutes. And all that's going to do is give us time to prep some veggies. Right, we've got some pepper, some garlic, some mushrooms, some onion. The usual that goes in a chicken a la king. And I've got some frozen peas. Okay, as you can see, as per usual, it's not the best quality. It doesn't matter. Nothing wrong with this one, but this one's a little bit old. And so are the mushrooms. It doesn't matter. It's being baked in the oven. Okay, it's going to be shriveled up anyway. Right, we want some cubed peppers, okay, like you would get the chicken a la king, normally pan fried. So it's straightforward, nice and easy. Now, big or small as you like, it doesn't matter. These recipes are fantastic, you know. And what you can do with this type of recipe, we're going to make a roux in the pan. And we're not taking the pan and putting it on the stove top. We're actually going to stick it in the oven and make the roux. Okay, it's all a one-pan job, this. Just to show you that you can make a fantastic meal in the oven without a problem. And there's no rush, is there? Because we've got to wait 25 minutes for that. So just do your veggies, nice and steady. Now this chicken is not going to be cooked at 25 minutes. It's going to be a good way there, but we're going to take it out and put it back in again. Okay, that lot in there. A little bit of garlic, look. Now you can mince it as small as you like. I'm just going to run a knife over quickly I don't really mind garlic, you know. I eat it all the time. Now, I'm going to chuck that on those peppers. All this stuff is going to go in together, so it doesn't matter. Okay, mushrooms. We want slices of mushroom. Now make sure you've cleaned your mushrooms, wiped them all around. These are in terrible state, but you know, they're fine for this. No hassle. So just slice or dice, entirely up to you. So as you know by now on this channel, it don't have to be pristine vegetables bought especially for it. You know, this has come out of the fridge. I'm not sure what I bought it for to use, but perfect for this. And it's just a steady one. We want to dice some onion. Nice and straightforward. As big as small as you like. Just the usual. And in a tub. Okay, chicken out of there. Right, what we're going to do is take the chicken out and just put it to one side. Only for a second. It's not cooked by any means. Okay, but it will be when we've finished, obviously. Right, what we don't want is all that rubbish in there, look, all that water. So what we're going to do is drain that. We want some of that chicken fat. That is good, 100% liquid gold chicken fat. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put that back in there. We want to cook with that, that's flavour. In there some butter. Now this is how I'm going to do this, okay? You can do it any which way you like. You can just put that in the oven and you can make a roux from that and chuck all the vegetables in. What I'm going to do is chuck the onion in. I'm going to chuck the mushroom in. And I'm going to give them about 10 minutes. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and you can use whatever herbs you want. Mixed herbs work fantastic. This is a bit of thyme. That in the oven. Okay, I've only had about 5 minutes, but not to worry, we're not going to mess around. Okay, in here, a little bit of flour. This is where we're going to make our roux, but we're going to make it straight in this pan. You want about 3 tablespoons of flour. That's 2 massive heaped ones, as you can see. And we want to be giving that a stir through. This goes back in the oven. We want to cook that rawness out of that flour. Just a little minute in there. So just give that about 6 or 7 minutes just to cook off the rawness of the flour. Right, this is condensed mushroom, condensed chicken. Obviously 2 different bands, but that doesn't matter. If you didn't want to make a roux like this, pop your tins, mix your tins together, chuck it in there, and you are going to have the creamy sauce. But we're doing it the other way. We're going to use milk and cream. Okay, when you've had 5 minutes, in there, chicken stock. It's just one of those things, you know, we like to make sure that the flour's got that rawness cooked off there, you know. Worcester sauce, of course we do. About 2 teaspoons. I'm going to go in there with some cream, about half a cup. Now the thing is, we're doing it as a one pan. It is not going to thicken like it would if you were cooking it in a saucepan. Oven cooking gives more fluid, served with rice or mashed potato. You'll be okay. Back in the oven until it bubbles, and then we will chuck our peppers and garlic in there. It won't take long to bubble. That's what we're looking for, a few bubbles on there. We need to get that out and get our veg in. There we go, a little bit of bubbling on there, look, and you can see as soon as it starts to bubble, we get this thick sauce starting. Just give it a stir. Stir it all around. Right, we want all our veggies in there. Our pepper and our garlic. Give it a good stir in. And now it's already starting to look like chicken a la king. Look at that. Right, we want our chicken back in there. Of course we do, it's chicken a la king. So, it's basically on the top. Now, this is going to finish cooking in here now. It's going to cook for about 25 minutes, somewhere like that. Now, the recipe will say 6, but I've got 7 because I had 1 extra in the bag, and there's no point leaving it in the fridge. So what we do, we cook this for about 20-25 minutes, and then about 5 minutes from the end, we stir in the frozen peas. There you go, back in the oven, come on. When you've had 25 minutes, you want to be stirring your peas in. So it's nice and steady, we've got this buttery goodness going on there, look. We're going in there with some peas, stir those in. Okay, once you've got them stirred in, it's back in. Back in, probably, I'm going to give these about 10 minutes actually. I was going to give it 5, but I'm going to give it about 10. Okay, when you've had your time, it's time to get that out of there. Oh, look at that bubbling goodness. Oh, got a nice creaminess going on there, but it's not very thick. Now, it's okay if you're going to serve it over rice or mashed potato. We're just going to put it on a plate actually, so it's going to look very soupy. So that's chicken a la king tray bake. Look at that. Come on, let's serve it up. Straight in here. There we go. That is chicken a la king made in 1 tray. There's nothing better than 1 tray easy cooked meals. Look at that, we got that nice creaminess. It's buttery, this one. So we use the butter, in we go. Beautiful. Really nice veggies, nice creamy taste. Better than using tin soup. Delicious. Our chicken, come on, you know it's going to be cooked. Look at that. That is sensational. Look at that. How easy is that? And that is absolutely boiling. That's delicious. There you go, so easy. Another 1 tray meal cook. Share with your friends. Tell them they can make chicken a la king in a tray. A bit more fluid, obviously, because it all cooks out. But there you go, made. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video.